This is like the first thing that came to mind.
Okay.
100 Demons. You know what you're getting, man.
It's just 100 of them.
You hear 100 Demons. Even if you don't know that's like a famous tattoo book, you see 100 Demons while they're playing. They've somehow multiplied. Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How are you, Bo?
I'm doing so well, Colin. I'm excited about today's episode.
Me too. This is a fun one. Band names are so important, you know?
Arguably one of the most important things.
And names in general, they hold so much power. And with enough time, with enough talent, with enough greatness, the name ceases to mean anything other than the music.
Interesting.
Some terrible band names, you don't even think about the words anymore because the songs rock so hard.
That's a really good point. And you just made me think of one. See, this episode, it's gonna be a little loosey goose.
It's
gonna be all
We're
over
just
the
having
place.
fun today.
Yeah, we're having, it's the new year.
It's the new year. Sometimes a band name is so good that you know exactly what you're gonna get.
And sometimes
a band name is so bad you know for a fact you never need to hear it.
one thing I would like to just have as a consideration for everything that we say is the aesthetic, the stylization of the word when written. Kind of, I feel like a band name and a logo and an image kind of is all
one package.
It's one package. We're focusing mostly on one aspect of that package. But I do think like certain bands are like, oh, they got the name, they got the look. And
I think a band name being bad sometimes is used in a good way.
Sure.
They know what they're doing with their band name sometimes, where they're playing to the correct, like they want the guy in the SpongeBob shirt, in the Minion shirt, the Minion Ode Bob. They want the Minion Ode Bob fan base, you know?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And we'll get right into it.
Yeah,
I'll start with what I think is one of the best.
One of the best. Okay.
One of the best, hardest, most aggressive, most violent, most interesting, most powerful band names of all time is Smash Mouth. It does not fit the band. It should have been used for ding bells, and breakdowns.
Yeah, like Harvest.
You know, Shattered Realm should have been called Smash Mouth.
I fully agree. I understand completely. That doesn't make any. I've never even thought about it.
It ain't right. Just we gotta have Smash Mouth is gone now. The OG's gone.
Wow.
You know, Shrek 5 is coming, and all rest in peace to the homie.
Yeah.
But we need a new Smash Mouth that is exclusively playing like UK beatdown music.
Man, I can't believe he died. I forgot. Was that this year?
I think that was last year.
Okay. Damn.
And after the unbelievable performance at the chili cook-off or whatever. Rest in peace to the homie. We got it. We need a new Smash Mouth.
Wow, Smash Mouth is such
hard as
I've never thought about that before. That's incredible. Okay, so
now Bo is going to do a best and a worst, and then I'm going to do a worst and a best.
So you kind of knocked it out of the park with that first best one, because all of mine I feel like are a little obvious, like obviously rock. Yeah. I'm going to choose what I think is my favorite band name of all time, and it's no coincidence considering how much we harp on them and everything I said about the aesthetic, the vibe, the look, the logo, the Misfits. The Misfits, I think, are, especially for 1978, that's a perfect band name.
That was like the most subversive, evil thing you could call your band. That might as well have been a slur.
Yeah,
in
right.
1978.
We don't,
like these Misfits are.
We don't fit.
And it sums them up so perfect.
It's perfect. So everything about it, and it's no surprise. He's a genius.
Yeah.
But everything from the way it's like written, the Crimson Ghost, all of everything that we know about that I think is literally a perfect thing to go along with an actual perfect band.
Yeah, I mean, I think their impact and their timelessness is 60% because of the imagery and the name and the logo and all that.
We often talked about, or it's come up several times in the van, where like I think the Crimson Ghost is probably the most recognizable punk logo.
Probably.
Because like
it rarely has the word with it.
Correct.
When it's posted somewhere and you know what it is.
And like Black Flag, the bars are like the next one. But then you think about like, well, whose reunions are filling up stadiums? Yeah.
Sure. Very true. So now give me a worst.
This is me being objective. This is me being transparent. This is I'm bearing my soul. I think Metallica is a terrible band name.
Horrible. I have it on my worst list
it's
ever.
An awful band name.
Yeah, truly despicable.
It is.
But again, this is one of those things where it ceased to have meaning and now it just means the band.
So true, but it's also not a real word.
No, it's not.
So it's just like it's actually the most generic band name.
Yeah.
It's so it's literally being like punkers. or like
I wonder if it's in the dictionary now.
Metallica?
Yeah.
I guess it could be, but it's just like I don't know. The only thing that's cool, especially about early Metallica, is that Hatfield drew the first logo.
Yeah. I think the only thing that's cool about it is that the name was worse. Imagine they were still called, wasn't the Alcoholica what they were called?
No, that was like a nickname they got.
Oh,
because their drinking became so infamous. Then blah, blah, blah.
That's horrible.
If you have an Alcoholica bootleg shirt, though, you get in contact with me anyway. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think Metallica is just a terrible band name.
Gotcha. I'm going to do a worst and a best.
Right.
And let's be clear. I'm not doing like intentional meme names, such as the Callous Dow Boys.
Okay.
Which I actually think is very clever.
I also think that's kind of a cool name.
I'm not doing The World is a Beautiful Place and I'm no longer afraid to die. Which, listen, it's a terrible band name, but it worked for them.
Interesting.
They weaponized it to find the right audience. And there's no other name like that.
Okay.
I'm not doing bands like We Butter the Bread with Butter, which is infuriating to this day. Makes me sick, physically ill. I'm not doing band names like the Tony.
No, you're not.
I can't even say.
You can't even say it.
I'm not doing band names like the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza.
Yeah.
If you're moshing, never mind. I'm not doing bands like No Chunk, No Captain Chunk. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that today.
Because they
know what they're doing.
They're intentionally.
They're trying to rile me up.
Okay, I like that. That's the spirit of what we're talking about. It's like
I agree.
Yeah,
I will do bands like Death Cab for Cutie. You're telling me Ugly don't get a Death Cab too?
Damn.
Only Cutie gets her own Death Cab?
Cutie privilege.
Not only is it horrible, it's exclusionary of uglies that are dead,
Who need a ride.
And I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I do think all these fucking names suit them, minus Smash Mouth. But this one has always pissed me off, and I like the band.
Oh, and yeah, right. Transatlanticism is awesome.
But I'm not. But I see a Death Cab for Cutie T-shirt, and I'm reminded every time how awful it is.
And then, ironically, they just go by Death Cab. Like everyone calls them Death Cab.
Death Cab, great name.
Great name. They should rename themselves.
I would guarantee you they would give anything to just be Death Cab.
Yeah, that's a bad name.
All right, now I will do a best now.
Yes.
Let's see what from my sprawling list belongs on here. All right, this one's easy.
Yeah.
This is like the first thing that came to mind.
Okay.
100 Demons.
Yeah, that's a crazy name.
You know what you're getting, man.
It's just 100 of them.
You hear 100 Demons. Even if you don't know that's like a famous tattoo book, you see 100 demons while they're playing. They've somehow multiplied. They're demonic, evil, scary, darkness.
Yeah.
The logo, perfect.
Yeah.
The songs fit the name. They're the hardest band ever, we've determined.
We've decided, yeah.
So what other band would be worthy of there being 100 demons?
Great answer. I love it. I didn't realize the tattoo book thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was a Bruce LePage. And I think what he said was the rest of the band didn't like it at first.
Oh, wow. Was there another
You
name?
were right, Bruce.
Was there another name that you know of?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Interesting. It's always great to hear what bands' first names were.
I know.
Were God's Hate? I know God's Hate and Twitchy Tongues are songs, but
God's Hate had a few. When it started, it was just we had one practice where we were called Dismantle.
Okay, it's not bad.
Which was it's a cool word, but it's like not a memorable band name. There was like a local name, like a local hardcore band name that was going around from band to band, and ultimately nobody used it.
Well,
and it was Body Cast with a K.
Okay.
There were 15 bands that were almost Body Cast with a K, you know?
Yeah.
God's Hate for a second was one of the Body Casts with a K.
Wow.
But I think God's Hate was it took a minute, but we figured it out. Twitching Tongues was always Twitching Tongues.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah. What about Dead Body? Holy Blade,
Dead Body was Dead Body immediately.
Yeah.
Because that was like, we wanted a name like Dead Guy. Dead Body, one word. Okay, done.
Yeah, that's sick. All right, so now it's one of my best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here. I don't like this band. And apart from one record, I think Anthrax is like an awesome band name.
Great name.
Great name, and kind of tells you exactly what you're going to get. I would expect a band with the name Anthrax to be thrash metal. That makes perfect
I also
sense.
think having started as early as they did,
yeah,
that was another thing where like that was probably so subversive just to be called that.
Right, yeah, and then
like that was extreme to be Anthrax at that time. Like the motherfuckers were probably really scared of Anthrax.
What's that shirt
I
say?
don't want to get Anthrax. I'm not listening to this.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was an inherent risk in being Anthrax. Great name.
I like Among the Living. I like some other stuff. You know, I'm just not a huge Anthrax fan, but I
love Among the Living. I really like the re-recordings with John Bush.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember you mentioning that.
Dude, they're hard as shit.
Yeah.
And his voice is incredible.
The Indians version is like
the Indians mosh part and the re-recorded one is fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
They knew what they were doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now I have a bad, right?
Yeah.
Dude. This pained me. 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
disgusting.
It's a really bad, just a bad band name. Now, on the contrary, NIN with the reverse N as in like a box logo, one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I mean, there's bad names that work.
Right,
you know,
that's
9 Inch
true.
Nails perfectly suits their extremity, and like we pointed out the other day, it's crazy that Pretty Hate Machine was 89.
89. Get
so early.
Fucked, dude.
Unbelievable.
I guess it's supposedly the length of nails that they used to crucify Jesus.
Maybe it's a great band.
I mean, if that's true, it's obviously a good reference. But
I don't dislike it at all. I will say
I hate.
I think it's gross because if it's a person with
oh yeah, I don't think it's not.
Nails, that's too long.
Yeah, it's
simply too long. I don't agree.
Part of that. But again, I think Nin it's almost a well, it is a logo, but it's almost the Crimson Ghost of itself. You know, it's like just this thing, and you know exactly what it is as soon as you see it, and it's awesome.
So true. All right, I'm gonna give you a best now.
All right.
And this thing, I think this is one of the greatest of all time, and clearly it worked for them pretty well. Band's pretty big. The Beatles.
Wow. Do you want to know
BEAT, brother?
Do you want to know what's next on my worst list?
Is it the Beatles?
Yeah, dude. A pun.
Dude.
A pun.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It worked wonders for them.
Well,
the Beatles.
I get it. It's a pun.
They beat it up.
That's just.
It's genius.
I hate it.
And you know what? There was a mania around them. I think, who knows if Beatlemania would have been the same if they were called fucking
the Squirtle.
Squirtle.
No, they were something else. They were the
Squirt.
No, they were like the Silver or something, or the Townsmen or something. They were another band.
Townsman Mania? It's horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Beatlemania. The Beatles, dude. The Beatles. That's a great name. There were all kinds of objects and animals that bands were named after at the time. The animals, the monkeys. Nothing touches the Beatles. It's genius.
Cannot stand this name because I think it's probably clever for 30 seconds, and then it's just like, even if the pun aside, it's a bug. You're a bug. You're like a groovy.
It turns out it's been clever for like 80 years.
Yeah, but that doesn't. There's lots of bands on my bad list who I think are incredible.
Oh, mine too. One of my next ones, actually.
But literally, because Metallica, Nin, Beatles on my list.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That was
my next pick for bad band name is Alice in Chains.
That is also on mine. A few down. Terrible band.
Just terrible.
Because it's the antithesis of Alice in Wonderland. Is that?
Yeah.
Instead of in Wonderland, she's in bondage.
She's in chains.
Like, that's
come on,
awful,
get her out of there.
Get out.
Get her out of those chains.
Horrible band.
Put her back in Wonderland.
One of my favorite bands of all time.
Of all time,
unquestionably, but just such a bad name.
Just terrible. This is as bad as like Papa Roach to me. You know?
Wow. That's real
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains.
But and I don't even think about it anymore, you know? Alice in Chains doesn't mean Alice is physically in chains anymore. It means these beautiful tunes by these geniuses.
By these absolute wizards. Yeah, I mean, that's what all of this is going to boil down to. I don't know if there's many bad, quote unquote, bad band names who I dislike on here, actually. Maybe a few.
There's a couple on here.
What I think this next one is my favorite band name of all time. I think it's actually cooler than the Misfits. I think Slayer is a perfect
Slayer's on mine as well.
It's just a perfect band name.
It's genius.
It's genius. It tells you it's done. The way it's stylized, their vibe and aesthetic is insane.
They made a short enough thing to carve on your arm perfectly.
Perfectly.
Or to yell at a guy across the street.
Mm-hmm. 2 syllables.
Slayer!
And like
two syllables done.
Yeah. Because you can't chant like
all time
Metallica, you know, but you go Slayer, Slayer, Slayer. You know? Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Slayer is probably the
Slayer's way up there. Dude.
I think it's scientifically, to me, the most perfect band name.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I got some heat coming up.
Yeah. All right, I got to do a bad one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fitting. Pearl Jam. That's a disgusting, awful.
It's jizz, right?
No, lady jizz.
Oh.
It's the other stuff.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think male jizz is Pearl Jam as well.
I see, because of the color?
Yeah.
See, I always thought, God, we're getting graphic, but I always thought because of like a pearl is in a shell that opens and there's stuff in it.
You went way deeper than anybody in the band did.
Either way, it's sexual, no?
Yeah, no, it's cum.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, that's penis.
But also, I don't know, a grunge rock band being like, well, we can't call it cum.
I mean, I guess, but like, it's just yuck. Just yucky, dude.
It's like the Lil Jon song with the skeet 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 in there?
Yeah.
Skeet, like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just.
That was a hit. So pretty cool. You know, what Pearl Jam achieved.
I mean, and I get it too, because it's like, we're rockers, we're jamming. You know, like I get it. Yeah. But man, I'm not. I really dislike it.
My next worst. The Killers.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of fucking Mormons from Vegas.
Yeah, no, you're not.
You ain't killing nothing but
you've done nothing.
Free will.
All
liberalism.
All you did was make 14-year-old Bo trying to find Chicago hardcore legend The Killer impossible. That's all
you're not going to believe this. My next pick for best names, The Killer from Chicago, Illinois.
Dude, what an incredible band name.
It's perfect.
Who's the killer? It's all of us. It's us.
It's all of them.
It's the band.
It's perfectly suited. They're the real killers.
Yeah.
They should take both, frankly.
Yeah. And
the Killers obviously wrote many bangers.
dude, yeah, arguably, yeah.
Maybe one of the great rock bands of this century. Maybe. But and maybe it's a great name on its own. But for a bunch of Mormons, not really. The Killer, much like Slayer,
yeah,
you know what you're getting,
right?
And you get it
right off the rip. There's no question about it. Killer is one of the coolest hardcore band names for sure.
I agree. The Killer. And you ever watch Wendy Williams?
No, but I know she is.
She uses the Killer as like an expression a lot, where she'll be like, "Who's gonna get me?" Like, the Killer's coming. I need to.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's one universal killer, and I
Yeah.
think about the Killer every time.
That's great. I like that. One of my favorite, and one of your favorites, Underdog.
Oh,
Underdog
God.
is such a sick band name.
It's on my list.
It's like they knew. Okay, I think Underdog was popular at the time, but I think much like Into Another, maybe they knew it was going to take some time for people to like get it.
Well, it's a guy crooning over a youth crew.
You know, that doesn't make any sense.
It should be impossible. Nobody else sounded like them.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But they were telling you like from the rip, like, we're underdogs. Like, it's not going to work.
I mean, I think it was more of a like a metaphor of youth crew versus society and music, and like their friends versus everybody.
Of course.
But my God, does it not sum up exactly what they're saying, exactly what they are, like the spirit of hardcore in general? I've said the other day online that I think that moment in Back to Back where the singer of Underdog is telling the listener, "You're the underdog, just like me," is one of the greatest recorded moments in the history of music.
To be free.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's a great band name. It looks sick. Good logo.
Oh, yeah.
Everything about them. Bad. What's a bad one? I got to get rid of Alice in Chains.
Give me a bad one.
Oh, well, we'll stay in New York with Youth Crew. Gorilla Biscuits. It's a horrible band name.
Just awful.
And like, I get it. I know it's a drug. I know it's Quaaludes or whatever. Fine. Clever.
It also works so well for them because they're one of the biggest hardcore bands, and like to non-hardcore people easily. And I do think a large part of that is like, well, that's a funny name. I should check that out.
Do you think Gorilla Biscuits is at all adjacent to penis music?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
No way.
Sometimes that sense of like,
the name is penis adjacent for sure.
Okay.
But
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next pick for one of the best is Xibalba.
Because what does it mean?
It's Mayan hell.
Come on, dude.
So they're literally a band full of proud Mexicans named after their personal hell.
Their,
you know,
like their ancestral hell.
Their ancestors' hell.
It's
fucking sick.
Yeah.
It starts with an X, which, you know, will help you in any kind of trivia type thing, which is great. I've always liked it. I've always been drawn to it. It's always been one of my favorite band names. I think it sums up their music perfectly. It's cool as fuck. It's hard. And something we have not talked about once. One of the most important things for a band name is passing the t-shirt test. A logo's gotta pass the shirt test.
Yeah, it's got to pop.
Warhead on here. You know that's gonna look sick as fuck on a shirt. Pearl Jam, somehow they pulled it off. You know? Xibalba.
Yeah. Especially
it just always looks good, even by itself.
And like the logo that they use is iconic at this point. It's perfect.
Yeah,
I love it.
You got it. All of these names must consider the shirt test.
Interesting.
Many fail.
Yeah. Wow. I'll give you one of my favorite band names with some of the worst merch that exists. The Cure.
Oh yeah,
Dude, The Cure is a great band name. I think, you get to the Doors, the Animals, the Beach Boys. Like you get a little, it gets a little silly to be the anything. A name is a name, so I guess whatever. But The Cure sounds cool. That sounds like something. It sounds like important. You know what I mean?
And for it to be just a bunch of sad, depressed,
not Cure.
low life, meth addicted rockers is fucking awesome.
It's the best.
Like, what is The Cure? Is the music the cure for melancholy?
Right.
You know?
Mm-mm.
Is death the cure for life?
Yes.
We'll never know.
But they have some of the worst merch I've ever seen in my life. There's a couple cool shirts, and then
I mean, there's a couple bangers. I like all the weird, colorful stuff.
The weird, colorful ones are fine, but a lot of them look like somebody sneezed on paint or something, or it looks like the food fight scene from Hook. Like it doesn't. There's just like nothing about it. But we're saying in like 2015 when you're playing Riot Fest, I think it's because they have been on a 360 deal forever and they don't make.
So they're just like, nah. They have a merch company making everything.
Yeah.
And they probably have zero input.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
My next pick for am I doing a worst?
I'll
do a worst.
I just did a good. Yeah.
My next worst is Dance Gavin Dance.
Dude. What the fuck is that?
I don't want to see a man named Gavin do anything at all.
Nothing. Don't want to know.
Especially dance. I know this ain't for me, just from this name.
Yeah.
And moving on. Just awful. Just nothing there for old Colin. And there never will be. So Gavin, you can give it a fucking rest now.
Yeah, just
all right?
Relax, brother.
Next best band name is Wartime Manner from Troy, New York.
Dude, yeah, what does that mean?
I mean, isn't Wartime Manner an expression about behavior and like human reactions during wartime?
Oh, like your manner?
Like bedside manner, but wartime manner. Yeah.
But isn't it spelled manor, like a residence?
No.
It's manner, like your behavior. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Hard as
That's
fuck,
a great,
dude.
that tells you exactly what you're getting.
And the music, the songs itself are Wartime Manner. They're ready for war. I know what my manner is while this is playing, and it is war.
Interesting. Do you have a preference with like length of names?
I think 3 syllables is the sweet spot.
Twitching tongues.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
4 is pushing it.
4 is a lot. Totally.
Unless it's 100 demons, Then syllables don't matter. Because it's still short. It looks short.
It does. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dude. Here's one of the best ever. Death.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
Absolutely insane.
Nobody had that?
Well,
someone probably had.
They kind of invented it.
I know, but it's just funny to think that like Blue Oyster Cult, which I would put on,
could have just been. They're talking about the Grim Reaper, but didn't call them their band Death. Maybe. I mean, I honestly think it was like that's too scary,
too far. Yeah,
we can't do that.
But dude, Black Sabbath is so.
That's on my list.
I mean that we can jump right to it.
I often think about whoever figured out that Black Sabbath could make a cross because of the A positions.
Yep. What if we like? It's unreal.
Nobody's done it right since because those 2 words go together so perfectly. Who put those A's there? Who figured that was a geezer? Was it Bill?
Well, it's Tony. He's riffing.
You know damn well it wasn't Tony. His hand hurt that day. He can't draw.
He's got no fingers. Good answer. Or well, all of that together.
With that we're just ranting now.
Yeah. Here's one that I really don't like, but I love this band. I think Fall Out Boy is one of the worst band names.
It's Simpsons, right?
Yeah, it's what Radioactive Man's partner. It's Millhouse, really.
Right.
Love the band. Sincerely, just I don't know. The band name just rubs me the wrong way.
Interesting. I do think it like perfectly encapsulates them in a way.
You think so?
which I think that's what's most important at the end, is that they sound like Fall Out Boy. You see that picture of that guy going around, the like weird looking blonde guy, and people respond to it like, I don't know how to explain this, but this guy looks like the Offspring sounds.
Yes.
I think that Fall Out Boy's name, I couldn't see them as anything else.
Really?
I think they nailed it.
I think they had to like change their name at one point too. It was Fall Out Boy, which is what the character was. And then they got in a little bit of trouble and had to make it Fall Out Boy. It was something like that. They had to.
They stay getting sued, huh? God damn.
But yeah, love the band. Love it. Yeah. But that's just that ain't for me.
One of the worst to me is the band Pupil Slicer. Relatively a newish band. They put out a record the same day as God's Hate, and I kept having to read They're good. They're sick. I kept having to read Pupil Slicer over and over again, and I think it's so foul and rotten and disgusting.
Yeah, don't do that.
That I never want to see or hear it again. I wish them all the best. Name is great. The band name is not great. Band is sick. I can't stand looking at it. I think it's so gross. I don't ever want to think about it. So I think they've done a great job, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely foul. I hate it. Great job. My next pick for best name is Mil-Spec from Toronto.
Is that military spec?
Yeah, it means like of the grade that would be used. It's ready for war, basically.
Awesome name.
This gun is Mil-Spec.
Yeah.
And they're Canadians.
Yeah. You know? How are they doing?
They don't know nothing about that. But they did it.
They did it. That's a good name. And
Brilliant name.
I like a name like MS Paint. I like a name that like isn't all there.
You know that MS Paint didn't even think about that they were from Mississippi?
Wait, really?
They didn't even process that. They were just called MS Paint. I think Taylor or Ian pointed out that it was Mississippi Paint. And they were like,
holy shit. So I had it backwards then. I thought it was Mississippi Paint and they abbreviated. And then it was like,
I mean, I'm sorry to break the fourth wall here to MS Paint. If you're watching, who you may be, it's genius. Dude, it's accidental, absolute brilliance.
Mississippi Paint is hard as fuck.
It's genius.
It's an awesome
It's like
name.
LA Dispute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Which they should have done.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mil-Spec, that's a good one. I'm on the biggest kick at the moment of Crowbar. And like, man, what else do you need?
It's a heavy object only used for breaking and entering.
Yeah, moving your ass.
Or hitting a motherfucker in the dome.
It's unbelievable. It's a perfect name.
Perfect band name. And also I love a 7-letter band name. Where there's one letter in the middle.
Oh yeah,
is a really cool sweet spot because you can like kind of bend it around,
like logo wise. You ever think about
Hatebreed is an asymmetrical amount of letters,
right?
Which makes it so the B is dead center.
Dead center.
Good stuff.
That's cool.
Those are the things I think about.
Well, so have you ever thought about how? And this is on my good list, but I have a question mark next to it. I'm going to skip ahead and take an extra turn because I don't know how you might feel about it. Bolt Thrower. I think is a sick name. It's a tabletop like game, you know, like it's
a thing from Warhammer.
I know,
right?
which is a tabletop game.
Yeah.
So like, you know, that like stained glass logo. How does that ever?
Oh, the logo's maybe the greatest ever.
How does it look symmetrical? It's
I don't know
4 letters and then more letters that I can even.
It
count.
makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
But they figured it out. It is. I do think hearing the name Bolt Thrower as a kid was like, that's stupid.
Yeah, what does that mean?
And it's one of those things that gets better over time. And I also think it's one of those things where the band is so perfect in every way that the name ceases to mean a guy throwing bolts or an object firing bolts.
Yeah,
a ballista of sorts.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And it just means the sick ass band.
I thought it was like Zeus when I first heard it, you know, because he throws right. So I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But talk about a logo, just a crazy
Just that's all time.
How does that
That's
work?
probably the top 3 logos ever.
Ooh, interesting. Should I do a bad now? I just did 2.
Yeah, no, give me a bad.
All right. Here's another question mark one. Colin, what is Pink Floyd?
That's a great question. I know what I like in The Wall is that Pink Floyd is the guy. His name is Pink Floyd.
Right.
He's the like fictional guy that all this is happening to that's going insane.
Right.
He's like the rock star crashing out. So I just think of it as that, as it's like I'm sure it had some meaning before that. I've never looked it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like that the like characterization of it is that Pink Floyd is this confrontational, troubled rocker.
So my issue with it is if you can actually separate it from the like Dark Side logo, which is incredible, and the music itself, which I love. It's like if I had a band named Green Bill, it would be the same.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's a
horrible
terrible,
name.
terrible name.
Absolutely horrible.
Okay, good. I'm glad you agree.
No, it's despicable. My next pick for worst is an absolutely incredible band, but that I avoided because of their name at first. The band is My Dying Bride.
Yeah. It's a bad name.
Maybe if I was around when they first emerged, I wouldn't have the stigma of, there's stuff like My Children, My Bride.
Yeah.
Bride is used in a genre that I have no interest in,
Yeah.
My Dying Bride being like top 5 doom band ever was not something I thought they would be from their name alone. So I think it has aged poorly, more so that it was always bad. One of my favorite bands. So I'll gladly rock. It passes the shirt test because I'll gladly rock it now. But that was a band I avoided because of their name. One of the best to me is, much like your last pick, this name already held so much power, and that its meaning is one of the hardest things I can think about. Deicide.
That's on my list. Yeah.
Killing a god.
That's
the
as cool
murder of a god.
It's as cool as it gets.
Now means their band as much as it does that.
Yeah.
And every song is about that.
Right.
There's an argument there that it's the best, most appropriate band name of all time.
Right. It's literally like death, Deicide.
Deicide is what they're about, and it's who they are.
Yeah. There's no aspect of them or Glenn or anything that isn't
Deicide.
Yeah.
I must kill God.
Yeah.
One way or another, I'm killing God. Whether it's by songs or cutting this thing in my forehead or just rocking.
It's a great pick. Great band.
Unbelievable name.
I'm going to get, I had a theme going here. My last one was Crowbar. My next one's Nails.
Oh, yeah.
Nails. And you know what I like? That all of us who aren't in Nails write capital Nails always.
Oh, you have to.
I love that.
Yeah, it is genius. There's so many puns that can be made out of it and that have been made out of it, and it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's hard as nails.
And it's 5 letters. So you got that I right in the
you got that nice I right in the middle.
And
there.
Dude, the classic old English, all in caps. It's perfect.
It's a perfect logo. It's a perfect name, perfect band. Everything about it is so suited for them. Yeah, I mean, and it that's one of those things that like the Misfits, like fucking other names as well, that the names can carry the band sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Where it's gonna bring you to a different audience because they're like, there's a band called Nails. Okay, I got to hear that.
Yeah, and it looks awesome. Like that's a name on a logo that stands out, or I should say a logo on an ad mat. Yeah,
passes the shirt test 100%.
Big time.
Yeah.
Here's a bad one. Korn. With a K.
One of the worst ever.
That's a terrible band name, dude.
And it's perfectly suited for them.
Yeah, totally. You're absolutely right. But like, if you think about, even if you took away the K and the backwards R,
it's horrible.
It would just be Korn. like
Truly not one good thing about the name Korn.
No. Nothing.
I got nothing good to say
other
about
than it's just recognizable. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's that's what it should be.
Your coworker in the Korn tee, who you can't wait to, who just needs to take lunch at the same time as you, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, I got to sit with the Korn guy.
Got any shows coming up, man?
Oh, no, I don't.
Well, you let me know, because I got to get back. But I mean, I like Korn as the band. I genuinely like Korn. Saw the homie Monkey at your Erewhon.
At Erewhon, yeah.
You know, I think Korn has their merits. But
I don't want any Korn on my entree.
Man, is that a bad band name?
Horrible. One of the worst to me. There's an epidemic in hardcore a few years ago.
Yeah.
With the letter Z replacing the letter S.
Okay.
It got out of hand. Okay. I'm not going to name names, but if the Z
What do you mean you're not going to name names?
replaces the S sound, you've done it wrong.
Right.
If I'm reading your band name and I can't say the band name right because it's a fucking Z instead of an S, you failed. You picked the wrong one. Get a different word.
Do you have any?
Misery is the only one that works.
It did work, yeah. Misery works.
Because that sounds like a Z.
Right.
If I'm having to say Z instead of S, you've picked the wrong one. There's too many to name. And I forgot most of them because I hate them so much. So I can't name them. But it's out of control. And they're mostly all good. Pardon this interruption, Bo. You know what I think would be a great band name?
What's that?
Manscaped.
Wow.
And you guys can have that one for free, though you may have some legal trouble because our longest running ad partner is manscaped.com. You get the best men's and hair, not even just men's, the best grooming products on earth.
Yeah.
You stink, you don't got to stink no more. Use code HardLore, get 20% off site-wide.
Free shipping as well.
Free shipping, it's unbelievable.
And what's crazy is it passes so many tests. It passes the t-shirt test.
The t-shirt test. The ball smell test.
Yeah.
The foot smell test, which you know is important.
The pit smell test.
The pit stank.
Stank.
And they all got all kinds of things for you. They got the scrubber, the preserver, the crop reviver, the duster. They got a foot duster.
You know what I found recently? I cleaned up my bathroom. I have an old bottle, and I haven't opened it, of the cologne. Manscaped cologne.
They got cologne,
They got cologne. Refined. It smells great.
So whatever you need.
Yeah.
How do I tie this into balls? Whatever you need, Manscaped won't bleed you dry with this incredible deal. HardLore, 20% off.
He's done
God, I'm good. Mad Vintage also brought you this episode. They got the best, every band name on here we probably just listed.
Right here.
They got a shirt for.
This guy right here. Perfect long
There you
sleeve.
go. He got that from Luke. He wants your stuff too. So hit up Mad Vintage, sell him your stuff. We'll buy it from you, from him. He will do it first, so we'll get it from him. And then every listener of this show will get everything that they ever wanted because there's grails you've been looking for your entire life on this site right now.
That is true.
MADDvintage.com.
And I think I can share this. He's going to be at a couple fests coming up this year, too. Get to see stuff right in person. Get to check it out.
So you don't want him going there fully loaded.
No.
Because everybody at the fests are going to buy everything you've ever been looking for.
Vultures.
So you get it now. Game over.
Game over. Mad Vintage.
Game over. This episode is lastly brought to you by Guilty Party, the best menswear store in North America. Christmas has come. The new year has come, and it's a new you. So if your resolution was to look better, dress better, be better, why don't you start with a new pair of pants?
Hey, what is better than a nice pair of slacks?
Literally nothing. Not a damn thing.
Damn, you're in the gig jeans for the show.
Absolutely. The tailor shot himself in front of me. Don't ask. But my Taylor in general is Guilty Party.
That is very true.
This is a small business co-owned and operated by a corpsman, the drummer of Foundation Champ. So you're supporting a hardcore guy. You're supporting a small business.
Mm-hmm.
You're supporting these brands and items that are built to last you your entire life. So quit throwing away your money on mall bullshit.
Yeah.
And come eat lobster with a monster, you know? Stop eating shrimps with the wimps. Guilty Party. Use code HardLore, get 10% off, and if your order's over $300, shipping is free.
And that's easy to do.
That is easy to do because that stuff is nice.
It's
man.
nice stuff.
Back to the episode. Anyway, band names.
If you watched any of these ads, comment baloney. I just want to see.
I just gotta know who's making them through.
Who's making it?
Anyway,
back to the episode.
My pick for one of the best is Typo Negative. And let me elaborate.
Okay.
I think the circumstance for which, so they were called Sub-Zero.
Right. Which is the logo.
Which is Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
It's the O negative.
Yes.
Perfectly applies. They all get it tattooed on them. And then discover there's another Sub-Zero.
Now, pause. I'm being so well versed in like the New York scene and like crossover shit.
I mean, I don't even think it was that Sub-Zero.
Oh, it was another. I thought it was.
It could have been. I mean, Happiness Without Peace was like, what, 92 though. Maybe they had a demo or some EPs or some shit. I don't know.
It would just be crazy for them to not know of that band.
I agree. Okay. I feel like it was a different Sub-Zero. I could be wrong.
But
Please
continue.
Feel free to correct us.
Continue. They all got it tattooed.
They're Sub-Zero. They all get it tattooed. Then they become Repulsion. Already exists as well. Very famous death metal band. Typo Negative fits with the logo. Everybody thinks that logo started with O negative, but it was Sub-Zero.
Right. He was driving.
I think making that and like it's a universal blood type, you know?
Yeah.
There's already something spooky in there.
Yeah, there is. You're right. He was driving and there was the Repulsion era. And he saw a billboard that said there was a blood drive, and it said specifically, we need type O negative blood. And he immediately, he went, oh, fuck. And
there's a live bootleg where he says in the set, we're not Repulsion no more. We're type O negative now.
God.
I think it fits them perfectly.
Okay. When you put it like that, I like it. I had typo negative written down, and I straight up like EVP Cody Rhodes entrance in the middle. I couldn't decide if I liked it or hated it.
Oh, I love it.
I just couldn't decide.
I think it's so perfect for them, and the journey from how they got there makes it even better.
If you think about though, like the thin logo across the shirt looks bad. Like that doesn't really pass
it doesn't pass the shirt test, but that's why they were so deliberate with placing of it and
color
like all
codes,
those shirts
all that
they
shit,
did themselves and were so hands-on with because that logo was tough to work around. And then doing the was revolutionary.
So
and that's
cool.
theirs, you know?
Yeah. That's so cool.
Genius.
All right, you've convinced me. I'm this is a good one that I know you'll like with a Z in it, but the way it should be. Crown of Thorns.
Oh my God.
What a fucking band name,
Holy
dude.
shit, dude.
It's perfect.
Now, you talk about bands that I won't listen to because of their name. Crown of Thorns is a band that I was like, I gotta hear this now.
Yeah, whatever this is.
I know I'm in. And then it was so different from what I was expecting.
Totally, yeah.
And that made me even more obsessed.
Band names that kind of throw you for a little curveball are kind of cool. Because it still
Where it's
fits.
maybe not perfectly like explaining what you're about to hear.
Yeah.
Crown of Thorns, holy shit, dude. I mean, it's calling yourself a like street stylized version of the fucking thing Jesus was crucified with his head on his head.
Yeah.
While being this like emotionally filtered yet still aggressive, unique version that has never been replicated.
No. It's awesome.
Crown and Thorns. God damn.
It's a
What a
really-
band. What a name.
Yeah,
Great
really,
pick.
really good band name. One of my favorites.
Outstanding pick.
Here's a bad one. Pantera.
Yeah.
It's a bad band name.
The fuck you talking about?
What are you
man?
guys doing? You guys are from Texas. What are you doing?
Just call yourself Beer or something.
Yeah.
you know?
What's funny is like
Snake.
they could have called them, late 80s could have called themselves the Panthers. I'm not saying that's
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
I guess Pantera is like more unique, obviously, but like bands like the Scorpions, whatever, that existed, like heavy bands like that existed. But the fact that on Metal Magic, there's just a shitty drawn panther.
Yeah.
And so it is like, oh no, you just literally meant panther in Spanish.
Yeah. It's brutal.
That's terrible, dude.
It's no good, but obviously it worked out.
It
pretty
worked
well.
out. I mean, by the time they got the
Much like Korn.
Vulgar Display logo, big P, big A. All right, I'm in. I think it looks awesome.
I mean, that's on Cowboys too, right?
It might be, yeah. It's just smaller. But like, if you were to say like, hey, we're gonna start a band called Pantera, I'd be like, what?
Well, we can't do that. We're not using that at all. It's
No.
horrible. And what's your next idea?
Yeah, right. You got any other brain busters?
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Okay, one of the worst to me, and this I want you guys to take this with you because this is still happening to this day. Anything AD that isn't Damnation.
Interesting.
No more ADs. We're past it. I know that bands had to do it legally
Yeah,
to
sure.
like get out of being the same name. Ghost did BC, which was very creative.
Very creative, yeah.
But no more. Okay, it's over. Change the name. Vane did FM, that's like their whole brand. It's genius. There's other methods now you can do.
Yeah.
No more AD. It's over.
But
it doesn't mean anything.
American Nightmare changed their name, and one could arguably say that really fucked up the band.
American Nothing.
No, well, American Nothing was super brief, but then
Oh,
they
Give
were
Up
Give
the
Up
Ghost was yeah. I mean I thought they were two different bands.
straight up. And one could say that like momentum wise, that probably hurt the band. I can't imagine that being
For sure. I mean I'm not saying get a new name if it's taken. I'm saying be more creative in the beginning, and then you won't have this problem.
aha.
Don't
Yeah.
just take another band's name and add AD.
You know what AD is perfect though? Angel Dust.
Oh, that's different though.
Of course I'm being cheeky, but that logo, the like A with the D, like the two diamond.
Their initial logo with the like their actual logo.
That's what I'm
thing,
saying. Yeah, it looks like a
Oh my
4
God.
almost. That thing is incredible.
It's genius.
It is genius. Love that.
Genius. All right, one of the best to me.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I think this is the best band name, but maybe it's a little too art,
Okay.
and people don't always know. The band name is Triptykon.
Explain it. I don't think I know.
You know what a triptych is?
Yes.
A 3-part piece of art.
Aha. So
Hellhammer,
it's his third.
Celtic Frost,
Right.
Triptykon. It's him in the name saying like, this is the final piece to my this is the final piece of my masterpiece.
Mm.
It's all one story. This is the ending.
Wow.
That's genius.
It's a pretty good one. Is it
It's genius. And it's the best one.
Yeah.
Turns out,
Yeah.
you know?
Is Triptykon like the actual word the same spelling as the band name?
No, it's C. I think triptych is CH.
Okay. Yeah.
But he made it a K hard and added on.
Yeah.
which just turns it into this fucking like monster, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds very monstrous.
It's so cool.
I like that. One of my favorites, and I was watching, there's a 3-hour compilation on YouTube of like Sting transferring from Surfer to like Wolfpack late
Oh yeah.
Sting, like just the whole story, right? And in one of the times when there's a fight breaks out, Tony Schiavone says, "We have a Donnybrook." Donnybrook is a fucking sick band name.
Outstanding.
And that's like especially I don't know who thought of that. Like where did that come from? Because that's not a term that's used.
No,
all.
but Martine and Dre be reading. You know, those are two learned motherfuckers, smart guys Bo Thompson was in the band as well. It could have been a Bo Thompson thing. I don't know. I'll get the answer. Here's the answer to who came up with the band name Donnybrook.
Okay, I suck at this. Sorry, but I'm gonna do my best. All right, so the name Donnybrook, our guitar player Pat, who I basically know my entire life because him and my brother who sings in the band, they've been best friends since probably kindergarten or something like that. So I've known him my whole life pretty much. Anyways, him and our second vocalist, Bo Thompson, they both grew up playing hockey, and a bunch of our neighborhood friends, like our first merch guy, Calvin, Sean Riley, who put out our first EP, 1917 Records. I don't know, for whatever reason, a bunch of our neighborhood homies all grew up playing hockey. And so a Donnybrook is when there's a hockey fight between two teams and the bench is clear, so it's just a big-ass fight. And I don't remember which one of the guys actually suggested the name, but yeah, we ended up using it because of that. We thought it was cool, which ended up being kind of a nightmare at the beginning because no one knew how to spell it because nobody knew what it was, so it got butchered so many times. There's like embarrassing flyers out there where it's spelled completely wrong and two different words and all this shit, which is crazy because it's like you just do like the slightest bit of research and you can figure out what the band name is. But anyways, yeah, that's it.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Thank you, probably Martine.
All right. What do I got here? Here's one. And this is by his own admission. He hates the band name. Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
That's a bad band name, dude. It just is. And he said himself.
Unless Christopher Walken is saying it before you play on SNL,
Fighters,
it's a terrible band. Foo Fighters.
He said himself that if he knew the band was going to become such a thing, he would have never named it that.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's a bad band name.
Foo Fighters. Especially if you live in the Valley, man. That could get you fucking killed. You know?
Who are you fighting?
You better be careful fighting them. They'll fucking kill you. Anyway. One of the worst to me, to all, hopefully, is Limp Bizkit.
Oh, yeah. I almost wrote that after Korn. Absolutely, dude. Just
absolutely abominable. It defines this era of music where this is really the beginning of the death of rock.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Guitars died.
Somehow, Kid Rock is a cooler name than Limp Bizkit.
Because that's just a guy that sounds like a cool rapper, which he was.
He was at the time, yeah.
Now
totally.
he's like the most racist, hateful guy.
The worst person.
But Limp Bizkit, the guitar player looks like...
Yeah, a monkey devil.
It's something,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
He looks like CGI. While you just have a guy from Moorpark rapping over fucking drop G. There's nothing good here.
No.
There's nothing. Nobody benefits from Limp Bizkit being called Limp Bizkit.
What is that band, Colin? It was right around that time. Sweat, baby, sex is the Texas. Bloodhound Gang. That is just like, I feel like there was an era of late 90s, early 2000s where it was just like, I don't know, what's around? Pick that. Bloodhound Gang is actually better than I thought.
Bloodhound Gang is a sick name.
It's kind of a sick name.
And that song is unbelievable. It's the era of music where it's the Smash Mouth era of music where
right.
It's like, no, guys, don't worry. We're not focused on writing things that are good anymore. It's all like, it's like the beginning of memes.
Yeah, it's commercial.
Where it's like, they said what? They're called what?
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, that song is good.
I saw someone, it was on like the Charlemagne podcast. I forget which rapper it was, but they realized that Eminem is Eminem for Marshall Mathers. Like they didn't.
That's a smart name.
It's a smart name, but it's funny to think that like, who said worse shit than Eminem at the time? Who said more like, right? He still is very creative. Limp Bizkit is just, don't get me started. I'm totally. That was also the total like, like dad, like Limp Bizkit. I got one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like,
which I got one of those coming up that drove me fucking crazy. But before that, one of the greatest ever. Perfectly describes the band. I think about what it had to have been like to call your band this in the early 80s. Turns out they were the hardest, baddest motherfuckers around. The merch, the imagery, the songs, they had it all. Suicidal Tendencies.
What a fucking name.
Good God, dude. They had it all.
They had it all. And it was
to this day.
Yeah.
Suicidal on the bottom of the hat.
Come on, dude.
They figured it out, man. That's like Misfits-esque branding and thought going into what will ultimately determine the course of your entire life with this band.
And the fact that it wasn't just like the band, like there was like their guys.
It's a gang.
Yeah, like that's fucking awesome. That's so
reading the NoFX book. There's a couple like short stories about the Suicidal guys pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
Hard motherfuckers, man.
Yeah. I love shit like that. NoFX, I remember when I was a kid, the rumor was it was no fucking straight edge, no fucking X.
Which instead it was just they wanted it to sound like Negative Effects.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Which is sick. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Here's me being objective, Colin. This is me being so fair. I think one of the coolest band names of a band that I hate, Primus.
Oh my God.
I think Primus is a sick band name. Like
it's so cool.
And somehow it fits them perfectly. Like I have no qualms with like their imagery. That doesn't bother me. Everything else bothers me. but like the name and the way it's stylized and kind of like weirdly written and shit, I think it's awesome.
Perfect name, perfect band, perfect discography, Willy Wonka covers included.
Oh my God.
All bangers.
Now,
anyway,
one of the worst, but one of both your and my favorites, I believe, the fucking Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh man,
that's a rough one, dude.
It's tough.
That's a rough name.
It's tough now,
and like,
I ain't wearing Goo Goo Dolls. I'm
and
sure.
They started out as like a hard rock band.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
Metal Blade Records, baby.
Metal Blade Records. Were they from New York? I think they were from
Buffalo.
They were from Buffalo. So it's like New York Dolls. Surely they were aware of. Was it a play on that? Goo, and then a boy named Goo, and just all this shit. Like, they're obsessed with Goo.
I don't know, man. Goo Goo. Why did it have to be twice,
No.
Like Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I wasn't even going to bring it up. Don't get me started. That's a fucking band name.
That's an incredible band name.
Boss Tone alone.
Yeah, alone, yeah.
Brilliant.
Because they're Bostonians.
From Boston.
Yes.
Mighty Boss Tones. Genius. You add Mighty, it's the best ska
It's
band
Vince McMahon falling off the chair. Like, unreal.
It's insane.
Unreal.
Goo Goo. You get worse. The Dolls. Great. The Goo Dolls. What? The Goo Goo Dolls. Kill yourself.
Great songs. Horrible band name.
Just awful.
One of the best rock bands of the 90s, surely.
Easily.
Yeah, without a doubt. But god damn.
Easily. All right. One of the best band names. Shai Hulud.
Interesting. So now, I didn't know.
I would have given it to any other band.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
And then it would have really rocked. But being the fucking worm from Dune, objectively sick.
Pretty sick. And also it's like they either sat through the David Lynch movie or they read that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would imagine. I mean, yeah, who knows? Probably both.
Possibly both, for sure.
They were before their time.
Pretty good band name, I'm not going to lie.
It's a great
Especially
band
now that like I've seen Dune. I never read it prior to the movies. So
you've seen the Shai Hulud at work. You've seen them do their thing.
I've seen it. It was crazy.
A lot of different singers riding those worms,
All right. That was clever. All right, is it my turn?
Yeah.
To a good one. Kind of getting down to the Colin, this is gonna rock you, dude. Oasis.
Oh man. Outstanding.
That's a perfect band name. 5 letters. Looks great.
5 letters, just looks and sounds cool.
And also, like, who doesn't want to go to an Oasis? Who doesn't want to experience?
I've never experienced one personally. I would love to.
I would love to.
Yeah.
And truly.
And it's a cool metaphor for, like, all music sucks. You're surrounded by this shit that sucks. Here's this one beautiful thing.
Here we are.
At the end of the road.
Come on, dude.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great band name. I love the logo. The lowercase logo of the 90s was definitely played out, definitely like a thing at the time, just the styling.
Yeah, but
it's perfect. I have no qualms.
Yeah, never not cool in their case.
Yes. And now the opposite. We're sticking aquatic. The Beach Boys. I'll drive myself off a cliff, dude. I love Pet Sounds. You know what I mean? Like, I have no issue.
Yeah, but dude,
It's so stupid, dude.
it's of the time, you know?
But of the time, you have like, I don't know, Creedence and Jefferson Airplane. You have names that are at least like
Yeah, but what is
interesting.
Creedence Clearwater Revival?
Well, it's like a baptism revival.
I guess that's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? And you have like even fucking the Jimi Hendrix Experience is cooler than the
Yeah, but
Beach
dude, the
Boys.
Beach Boys, are they not telling you exactly what they're all about?
Not by the time like Pet Sounds and stuff came out. The early on, sure.
That's what I'm saying. They evolved musically, but they were some fucking boys at the beach.
They were, but God, do I hate.
You got to remember, this is pop music. You know?
I'm fully aware.
So this is the same thing as Backstreet Boys and NSYNC at the time. So like they're going for, we got to sell some fucking records. How about the Beach Boys? We want to be on the radio.
I understand that. That doesn't mean that the name's
Sure.
forgivable. You know what I mean?
I think it's perfect for them.
But you also had bands at the time that were kind of doing the same thing, like the Beatles and like fucking the Rolling Stones, and you know what I'm saying? Like there are other bands, or the Doors is even like a cool band name.
I guess.
If you're not talking about a door, you're talking about like possibilities. You know,
maybe. I like the Beach Boys. I like that name.
Okay, that's our first big disagreement. Beach Boys.
Yeah, no, there was one other one. I like. There's something else you said.
Oh, Fall Out Boy.
Did I?
It was Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy. I like Fall Out Boy.
That's right.
And you hate the Beatles.
Yeah.
I think it's a genius name.
Okay.
Another name I think is absolutely brilliant. Stormtroopers of Death.
Dude.
SOD. Stylized either way is cool as fuck.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, very crazy.
Little
the
crazy.
fact that it's still working for them to this day.
Somehow, yeah.
Nobody. I'm sure there was some kind of fuss about this at the time, right?
Probably not at the time.
But now for sure.
But now
but
for
my
sure.
God, is it cool?
Yeah. That's a great band name. I went through a phase where I was like really into SOD. I've kind of forgotten.
Once you pop it on, you're like, yeah, this rocks.
Yeah, this goes. Yeah. Let's see. I'm getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Yeah, I don't have many bests. So I've got a shit ton of worst. Oh, I didn't say a worst.
Yeah, do it worse.
This is one that is. It's an incredible band. It does not pass the shirt test, even though they've added the fucking umlaut to make you think it doesn't say that. Ass Suck.
I don't get it. It's a terrible.
Ass Suck is an abominable name.
It's a terrible band name.
It literally means ass to suck ass.
That's where they got it from. That's it.
Yes. Horrible.
What are you doing?
Great band.
Great.
I'm not saying Asuk. I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
okay?
right. Yeah.
Fucking Ligma. Ligma ass band name. I ain't saying that shit.
It's League May.
But
Yeah.
God, what a band.
I think that's a really good one. That might be the pound for pound like worst name, best band.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know, it's one of them. One of them.
Ass Suck. Sickest band. Worst. It's called Suck Ass. That's how you know you rock, dude. That's like playing breakdowns in E standard.
True. Yeah.
You know, if they're still hard, you're pretty good. You suck ass. Oh, you're the best man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're good.
Great point. Let's see. What's a bad one? These are one of my last ones. Oh, Jimmy Eat World.
It's coming up for me.
What?
Absolutely fucking abominable.
One of the greatest American bands ever.
Period.
I have no issue with that. But
Period. Dude.
and Taylor told me, I guess it's like a story.
It was a drawing that like his little brother did.
Yeah, and it was
of him eating the world.
Eating the world.
But as a band name, I've hated it since day one.
This is day one.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
No,
There's just no excuse for that. Change that
Fantastic.
name, Jimmy.
Great pick.
And then one of my last good ones. Oh, this is fitting. I think the name Slipknot is awesome.
It is a good name.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's just a technique of which to tie a rope.
Just
right?
to fasten something to your truck. You know, like it's nothing.
But it sounds. And them carrying it and the imagery of it makes it has added power to it.
I don't know if there is a better example of like whole band in costume. You know, like Gwar is obviously crazy, but like
there's nothing even close.
No, yeah, the way they did that. Come on, dude.
Yeah,
so and it fit somehow with the Slipknot thing, and I don't know.
Totally agree.
Perfect.
Great name. One of the worst names, and this is only because of like I really like this name in theory, but what wearing Sick of It All's shirts did to me in high school made me realize that I hate it.
I don't love that.
I couldn't wear that motherfucker to school without some teacher being like, "Me too, buddy." Oh, are you sick of it all?
You're tired? Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's got to be a better way to say it than sick of it all. It's too many words. Something German about it, you know? Sick of it all.
It reminds me of, meaning no disrespect, it reminds me of Birds in Row.
Yeah.
Which I think they're Belgian, I think.
Yeah, or something.
That's just like
It's not for me. Sick of it.
Sick of all.
That's it.
Sick of all.
Sick of all. Sick of it all. Just feels like one too many words.
Wow.
Great band. One of my favorites. Blood, Sweat, No Tears. Mount Rushmore. Just look around. A different Mount Rushmore. Fantastic. The name got me heated in school. One of the greatest names of all time that perfectly describes, encapsulates, and lets you know what this band is all about. This is a band whose logo and name, I think, helped them cross over a little bit while they were very briefly active. Righteous Jams.
Interesting.
That's an unbelievable name. They were called Invasion, which is also sick.
Invasion used to be this band.
Changing your name, like, no, we're Righteous Jams now.
Yeah.
Is like, trust me, this is going to work.
And the song is Invasion used to be this band, but now we're playing Righteous Jams.
Dude, what a fucking mission statement. It's incredible.
You're not wrong.
I love this band name. This is a thing that, like, I know people who have, like, I don't listen to much hardcore, but I heard Righteous Jams because I liked the shirt or something.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, like, as a marketing tactic, unlike the Callous Dow Boys.
Yeah.
We butter the bread with butter. Tony Tap Dance. I can't say that word. I can't say that name. Tony Tap Dance Extravaganza. Tony Danza. I can't say it. I hate it. Unlike those, Righteous Jams was about what they were doing. You know, it became both an adjective and a noun. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
They're playing the Righteous Jams that they are.
Yes. It's good. Yeah, it's pretty. You're right. I didn't think about that.
Fantastic.
When I was making my list, I was trying to think of like which Cleveland band I think has the coolest band name. And Integrity is really funny because it doesn't fit them at all. Integrity sounds like the band that like everyone in Have Heart was in prior to Have Heart.
It sounds like a youth crew band.
Sounds like a youth crew band. Yeah. Like a collegiate youth crew band. Which is just like, that's a funny...
Where Ringworm is like a cool, gross thing.
Yeah.
But Confront is like the sickest band name ever.
I'll do you one better. I think One Life Crew as a band name.
I guess.
As a band name. We're just talking name.
Confront, dude.
Confront is sick. But
Confront is crazy.
But Confront would have One Life on their shit. It's the same as Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah.
That's sick.
But one is still great to this day.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
We're just talking about the name.
Yeah. One of the... Wait, did you do it worst?
No. I'm probably done after this. Oh, this pains me to say it too. Because I think it makes sense as a name, but Third Eye Blind is just like a dumb name.
That unlike Sick of It All,
yeah,
feels incomplete.
Like what?
Blind Third Eye would make more sense.
Totally. And I understand. Like,
but I guess I'm saying, like, I don't know, I must be third eye blind.
Yeah, something. Right. Exactly. And it's like, okay, but I don't know. I ever since I was a kid, ever since Semi-Charm Life came on, and they said, like, that's a new one from Third Eye Blind, it just bothered me.
I think that's like quintessential 90s name of just like, I don't know.
Cream of some young guy.
Works.
Yeah. I hate it. I really
it sounds crazy, I guess.
Dude,
yeah.
Crucial Taunt, kind of a sick name.
Sick ass, fake ass name.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did good with that one. One of the... I've got more worst than best here, so maybe I'll fire off a couple of them.
Yeah.
Live. Because is it live or is it live?
I don't know.
So written down...
Yeah.
It's worthless. And most people are going to read it rather than hear it.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
That's a bad...
Unsearchable.
Oh.
You can't search live band.
Wow.
There's millions of those, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
The band live, impossible. It's an SEO nightmare, which they never had to think about.
They didn't worry about
now.
it. Yeah.
And now it's just out of control.
SEO.
So now you just go, what was the placenta falls to the floor band? You go, I think they're called Live.
Dude, SEO Nightmare is pretty good.
SEO Nightmare is pretty good. There's going to be a Japanese band called SEO Nightmare any minute now. And then Best. And this is a name that just sums them up so perfectly. Mm-hmm. Earth Crisis.
Interesting. I was wondering how you felt about it.
I love this name, dude.
The
vegan straight edge band being called Earth Crisis.
And that's the only reason it works.
100%.
If it was like not a vegan or edge band and not as serious as they were and like, you know, as dedicated as they were.
No, that made it perfect. Their like most iconic shirt being just the recycling symbol.
How do you make that cool? How do you get that?
They did it, dude.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Alternatively, another great band name just to coincide with this is Floor Punch.
Dude, it's a great band name.
And Path of Resistance.
Path of Resistance is incredible. You know what else fucking rocks that fits in with Earth Crisis is All Out War.
Yeah. God damn right it does. There may be no band in history whose music is summed up by their name more than All Out War. Wow. We're just right. This is like guys naming quarterbacks, being like, he was good. All Out War, great name.
Great name. I had Megadeth on here. I really don't like in the same vein as Metallica or Motley Crue and Megadeth, Aerosmith.
Sure.
Get fucked. Get out of here.
No, I'm with you, 100%.
But then, you know what's funny is I think if a band existed today, like a current, like a hardcore band, and they just like made up a word that sounded cool and looked cool on a flyer, I might be into it. So,
no, there's tons of those.
Yeah,
like Taylor calling his solo thing Zeus, but spelling it wrong. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, good point.
Sick ass name.
That's good.
I've only got one best left.
Perfect.
And a bunch of worst. So I'll just fire off some worsts, okay?
Yes.
And I'll save some for last. Anything named, any geographical names. Asia, Europe, Kansas.
Boston.
Into the bin with you.
Chicago.
All great, all bangers. Chicago, horrible. Come on.
Terrible.
We've got to do better.
Yeah,
okay, let's get in this time machine and fix this.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Absolutely horrible. Dead Mouse with the 5.
Yeah.
I've been saying Dead Mouse 5 for years.
Not a gamer.
I didn't know that was wrong.
Not a gamer.
Horrible. Dying Fetus. One of the worst ever.
Really? That surprises me.
Horrible.
To hear you say that, I'm surprised, actually.
It's offensive and cool and it's iconic now.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really hard to wear a Dying Fetus shirt.
It doesn't pass
growing
the test.
up.
It passes the visual
It's really
test.
hard to explain that to teachers.
Yeah.
They're really good.
I swear to God.
I promise.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And Butthole Surfers.
Oh, my God.
They know what they were doing.
They know exactly what they were doing.
And they did it wrong.
Ugh.
Go to hell, Butthole Surfers.
Yeah, that's bad.
You will be surfing the flames of hell for the rest of your life with your butthole getting scorched, okay?
It's a terrible band name.
All right, I only have one left for both, so I'll wait. I'll save them.
Okay. You said Ghost earlier, and that was on here. Oh, here's one. Neurosis. I think Neurosis looks cool. I think their logo is incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know what Neurosis is, and that's cool.
I don't know the textbook definition, but to me it means droney, experimental, groundbreaking band.
That's what I surmise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it for me. That's my whole list.
That's all? You're done? Okay,
Yeah.
so my last best ever is much like Smash Mouth. This, I think, could have and should have been the hardest band in the world. I think they've got to give it up and just give it to somebody else now. And if they want to give it to me, I'll start something new. That's great. One of the hardest, most aggressive, most violent names in history. Jawbreaker.
Crazy name.
Hard name.
Hard name.
Doesn't make any sense for them. So, guys, I'll take it from you. I'll give you $100.
Yes.
Final offer.
Is it based off the candy? Like what?
It has to be.
You think so?
The name is candy. The logo is salt. Make up your mind.
Yeah.
Those are conflicting tastes. Okay, those are conflicting flavor palettes. Give one to me. We'll really start breaking some jaws. All right.
It's a good
And
one.
my last pick for worst band name: Weekend Nachos.
Yeah, I almost said it earlier. They absolutely just did that.
They
to
know,
do it.
and
They
it
know.
was a gag. It was like, okay, it's gonna sound Japanese. It's two words that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
They picked the wrong two words that don't mean anything together. And now people are going to be saying weekday nachos to them for the rest of their lives. I'm sure they regret this every waking minute of their lives.
I often wonder. Yeah.
But it worked out.
But
great.
it worked. Yeah, it got over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And that's the thing is a bad band name can help you a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
If it's that bad, somebody's like, well, I got to hear this shit. And then if the music is awesome, like Weekend Nachos or Ass Suck or Alice in Chains.
Goo Goo Dolls.
Or fucking Goo Goo Dolls is right. Thank you all so much for joining us today. That was the best and worst band names of all time. I'm sure we missed a billion because there's a billion great names. There's 2 billion bad names. So let us know below your favorite and least favorite band names of all time.
Very good. I love that.
The winner will get the name Jawbreaker. You get to call your band Jawbreaker.
We sign
And
up.
Smash Mouth. You get to pick both. So make the right picks, and we will see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.